More than 500,000 homes and businesses were without power as of midday on Saturday after storms and tornadoes swept across the U.S. South and Midwest, leaving a trail of destruction. Ohio was one of the worst hit states with about 200,000 people without power, according to PowerOutage.us. At least 26 people have been killed as confirmed or suspected tornadoes in at least 8 states destroyed homes and businesses, splintered trees, and laid waste to neighborhoods across a broad swath of the country. The dead included at least 9 in one Tennessee county, 4 in the small town of Wynne, Arkansas, 3 in Sullivan, Indiana, and 4 in Illinois. Other deaths from the storms that hit Friday night into Saturday were reported in Alabama and Mississippi, along with one near Little Rock, Arkansas, where city officials have said more than 2,600 buildings were in a tornado's path. Residents of Wynne, a community of about 8,000 people, 50 miles or 80 kilometers west of Memphis, Tennessee, woke up on Saturday to find the high school's roof shredded and its windows blown out. Huge trees lay on the ground, their stumps reduced to nubs. Broken walls, windows, and roofs pocked homes and businesses. Debris lay scattered inside the shells of homes and on lawns. Clothing, insulation, toys, and splintered furniture, and a pickup truck with its windows shattered. Some survivors said they emerged from their homes to find buildings ripped apart, vehicles tossed around like toys, shattered glass, and felled trees. The National Weather Service said that tornado was a high-end EF3 twister with wind speeds of up to 165 miles per hour or 265 kilometers per hour and a path as long as 25 miles or 40 kilometers. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders declared the state of emergency and activated the National Guard. On Saturday, Sanders requested a major disaster declaration from President Joe Biden to support recovery efforts with federal resources. It could take days to determine the exact number of tornadoes from the latest event, said Bill Bunting, Chief of Forecast Operations at the Storm Prediction Center. There were also hundreds of reports of large hail and damaging winds, he said. A threat of tornadoes and hail remained for the Northeast, including parts of Pennsylvania and New York, as well as in Illinois. Deaths have also been reported in Tennessee, Arkansas, Alabama, Indiana, and Mississippi. In Arkansas state capital Little Rock, a major tornado tore through the city, flipping cars, smashing roofs, and toppling trees. Extensive damage was also reported in parts of South and Midwest, with the states of Arkansas and Missouri declaring states of emergency. Tens of thousands were left without power. More than 40 tornado reports were made across 7 states on Friday night, according to U.S. government Storm Prediction Center. Several flights at Chicago O'Hare International Airport were delayed or canceled as passengers were told to take shelter due to what it described as severe weather. In Tennessee, Covington Mayor John Hensley pleaded with people not to drive around as power lines had been hit by storms. The Covington Police Department described the city as impassable, sharing photos of roads blocked by downed power poles and large trees toppled in front of homes. Mrs. Huckabee Sanders deployed the National Guard after what she described as significant damage in central Arkansas. As of 2030 local time, more than 70,000 in her state were without electricity, according to the U.S. Power Outage website. Friday's night of deadly tornadoes comes just 1 week after a rare long track twister killed 26 people in Mississippi. President Joe Biden visited the state on Friday to pay his condolences and promise federal aid. In a bulletin, the Storm Prediction Center warned some of the projected tornadoes could track across the ground for long distances. The Mississippi tornado last week traveled 59 miles or 94 kilometers and lasted about an hour and 10 minutes, an unusually long period of time for a storm to sustain itself. It damaged about 2,000 homes, officials said. It's with great regret that I confirm 5 fatalities. Bollinger County Sheriff Casey A. Graham said in a statement. Missouri State Highway Patrol Sergeant Clark Parrott said in the afternoon that officials are hopeful the death toll won't grow. The damage is pretty widespread. It's just heartbreaking to see it, he said. Officials in Louisville reported extensive damage and a possible death after a tornado struck Wednesday afternoon. At a news conference, Mayor Craig Greenberg said that the death might be linked to the storm, but the county coroner would make the determination. National Weather Service meteorologist John Gordon told reporters that a preliminary assessment showed the tornado touched down in Newburgh, just south of downtown Louisville, with 90-mile-per-hour winds and a width that likely spanned a football field. The area may have also been hit by a second tornado, Gordon said. In Missouri, the tornado traversed rural Bollinger County south of St. Louis at a speed of about 45 miles per hour for about 15 minutes sometime between 3:30 a.m. and 4 a.m. Central Time, National Weather Service meteorologist David Wynne said. The agency said the tornado appeared to be a high-end EF2 with estimated peak wind speeds of 130 miles per hour. It was significant given how much damage it caused, Whitten said, adding it took serious and bad. A preliminary assessment found that 87 buildings had been damaged, 12 of them destroyed. Missouri State Highway Patrol Superintendent Eric Olson said, the Highway Patrol has urged people to avoid the area as first responders work to find injured survivors. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Storm Prediction Center said parts of the Ohio River could get severe weather Wednesday night, with damaging winds, large hail, and possible tornadoes. Severe weather was also reported Tuesday night in Illinois, Iowa, and other states. Deaths have also been confirmed across a wide swath of states, with multiple victims in Arkansas, Indiana, and Tennessee, where the statewide toll rose to 15 on Sunday, officials said. 3 of the deaths were in Memphis. 2 children and 1 adult were found dead after police responded to calls about trees that had fallen on homes, the Memphis Police Department said in a news release. 9 others died in McNairy County, Tennessee, County Mayor Larry Smith confirmed. A tornado that tore across 15 miles of southern Iowa on Tuesday was recorded as a high-end EF1, with peak winds of 110 miles per hour and a maximum width which stretched 50 yards, according to the National Weather Service. Several buildings were damaged, but no injuries or deaths were reported, the agency said. In Illinois, a local office for the agency said a tornado with a peak wind of 160 miles per hour and an EF3 rating struck an area southwest of Peoria on Tuesday night, injuring 4 people. Several tornadoes are possible, a couple of which may be strong, the center said in an update Sunday, adding that there was a 10% or greater probability of tornadoes between EF2 and EF5 strength within 25 miles around the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area. Scattered severe thunderstorms are expected across central to northeast Texas between 2 p.m. and 11 p.m. Central Time, the Storm Prediction Center said. Hail the size of golf balls and damaging wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour could also pose a threat. The federal declaration frees up federal resources per the White House to aid those impacted in Cross County, Lonoke County, and Pulaski County, which encompasses the city of Little Rock, where heavy damage but no fatalities had been reported as of Saturday afternoon. The National Weather Service reported that an EF3 tornado had roared through Pulaski and Lonoke counties in Arkansas with estimated peak winds of 165 miles per hour. Efforts are now focused on recovery and rebuilding, Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. said. Nearly 2,600 structures in Little Rock were impacted and around 50 people were sent to hospitals, according to the mayor. The governors of Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, and Arkansas all announced emergency or disaster declarations in their states to help free immediate assistance for impacted counties. And on Sunday, President Joe Biden issued a major disaster declaration for Arkansas ahead of a trip by FEMA Administrator Dion Criswell to survey the damage and determine the needs on the ground.